Why has the world gone mad for marijuana? It's totally insane. Demand for it is just unbelievable. Why has Canada started to legalize it and encourage the use of it worldwide? And why has everyone stopped talking about the dangers of its use? Well, to answer the first question is, why has the world gone mad? Well, it comes down to three truths that people don't like to hear about it. One is the socialist liberal governments need a new source of revenue to feed all their anti-prosperity programs. They don't build prosperity for prosperity, it's anti-prosperity programs. And people, oh, I get something for nothing. No, you don't. You pay roughly 800 times for it. In one way or another, you pay for it. Two, the masses need to be controlled, entertained, and raped according to the policies. And a lot of the laws don't refer to individuals or refer to a person having free will. They refer to them as herd mentality, masses to be herded in different directions. And nobody opposes it. But that's a curse on you. A governmental curse that needs to get broken off. And the third, when the real God of heaven and his laws of love are not taught, everyone needs a new false God. They need a false hope and a lie to believe in. Because if you can't accept the truth, you need a lie to believe in. And that's what's been sold them. The joy of marijuana. Yay, cannabis, eh? And there's churches that claim to be following Jesus, that their sacrament is no longer the bread and wine, lest you get to toke up on marijuana. And it costs you $2,000 to join the church, and you got to give 20% of your income immediately, to the church. And you get to smoke while you're there. I bet there's good learning procedures going on, right?
Do they really know they're there? Want to put that out there?
So, when you supply them with a false God, a false hope, and a lie to believe in, you got control of the masses. Simple. They will vote for whatever you tell them. They'll do whatever you tell them. And they'll be opposed to anything that makes sense. That has common sense behind it. Guaranteed. In Canada, we have a very immature leader who was elected because the former leader in Canada allowed his party to sell this young leader. That's the opposition. Sold them to the Canadian people because he was too young, with nice hair and cute buns. And he got elected to a majority government. Not because he was qualified in anything, but he, shall we say, he was a heavy user of cannabis and wanted it legalized. So he became the Prime Minister of no restraint and lawlessness for the land. But this disease is spreading worldwide, preparing for the beast's arrival. And everybody's joining in to get their mark. People want a lie to live by. They don't want the truth to live by. They want a lie that you live by. And cannabis makes any and all lies sound logical. You'd be surprised when people are high on this cannabis, what they will believe. You know? And they accept the lie as logical and true. The truth is a lie, but what is a lie is logical and true. So they say danger should never be talked about because you're disturbing their daydream. Well, when do you get the truth? You don't. And there has been over 300 problems developed that they have associated with marijuana. Child learning disorders, brain dysfunctions, inability of the hormones to select a sex, so there's a lot of hermaphrodites being born, things like that. And now they have where young children in homes where their parents smoke or where they've been encouraged to smoke marijuana are in the provincial hospitals for cannabis poisoning. In an article, it said, among adults in 2015, there was 421 emergency department or urgent care visits needed, that came in to the hospital in Calgary alone. And that's just with the adults. And that number in 17, 2 years later, has jumped to 619 a year. Well, does that sound safe to you? No. And for those under 18 years of age, there was 108 in 2015 and 136 in 2017. Most of them are suffering from permanent brain damage from the overdose. And there's no warning as to how much which should be the maximum limit for the day on these, on sales rules. There's no guidance at all on the sale of it. And they're legalizing it. It'll be more common than grocery stores, liquor stores, and what was it?
Cigarettes.
There's three. If you combined all three of them, you'll find it that the dispensaries for marijuana are going to be more than all three of them together. Well, where's the common sense? Where's the balance? And all this is costing our society big money. Taking away productivity from the nation and destroying its future. He says, we see kids with bad reactions, kids becoming mentally unstable, says Dr. Lang. And he's the department head of emergency medicine for the University of Calgary. It is a problem, but it is not an epidemic yet. Wonder what happens when it becomes legal. But he said one consequence of regular long-term marijuana use that's troubling and becoming more common is cannabis. And they got a hyper remissus syndrome is developing in them, in which the drug triggers uncontrollable vomiting. It's becoming very serious. Uncontrollable. They have to give them morphine or heroin, direct shots into the blood, to stop the vomiting. A small amount is supposed to settle your stomach. But they also found that it increases, you take a little bit and it stops pain, especially back pain. You take a lot, and your ability of the body to neutralize pain, combined with the endorphins and becomes non-existent, it shuts it down. Cannabis, has become a false god to the nation. And everybody's jumping on the bandwagon to buy into it and the stocks and buy this and buy, but it is worse than a cancer. Mm-hmm. And they know that long-term use does cause cancer. It also causes impotency in males. Not a good sign. This is just one of over 300 problems noted with marijuana use. So we gotta look back, and what did Jesus say? Come out of the world, out of its insanity, and live.